Hi, my name is Amanda Renee, and I am a QC Makeup Academy graduate. I am also a student ambassador. I have graduated from the Master Makeup Artistry course, the Pro Makeup Workshop, the Special Effects course, and most recently the Airbrushing course. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of show you what I did for my final assignment in that course, and what that was a fantasy look. You're supposed to use mostly airbrush techniques, but then you can also use other types of makeup as well to sort of complete the look. So what I did first was I sort of created a character in my head, and I took it on a face chart and sort of detailed it out on my phone and gave a sort of a template for me to create the look off of. Also gave me an idea to play with sort of color schemes and things of that nature. Gave me a good idea of what would work and what wouldn't when I went to finally do the actual application. So because of the nature of airbrushing, it is quite loud. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be a voiceover and sort of a speed through, and I will talk you through everything that I'm doing. But my skin is prepped and ready to go. Please keep watching and we will get into it.
So the first thing that you'll notice is it's very quick speed through, because a lot of the airbrushing process is just sort of building the product up in sort of small circular motions. So it is a lot quicker in this video than it actually was, probably about 3 times the speed. So I already did all of the prep, obviously, as far as getting the machine, the equipment all prepped for the makeup, which is actually a process. You'll learn all of that in the course if you decide to take it, but it would be way too much for me to go over in this video as well. The products that I'm using are all Temp 2 SB pigments, which is silicone based if you're not familiar. I chose not to use the alcohol based today because it's harsh on the skin, and I've just been putting my skin through a lot recently, so I decided to not be as harsh. So after the gray base that I laid down, I decided to start laying in some of the blue features, sort of like the markings on the skin of the creature that I created. And I'm also doing this with just one of the silicone adjuster bases. I'm going in and adding sort of little tiny dot details and just things to add more interest to the skin. It's important to sort of blend down the color onto the neck so it blends in with your natural skin, and that there's no harsh sort of line of where the makeup begins and where it stops. A lot of these things that I'm talking about as far as tips are things that I learned through taking the QC course, and just the very basic fundamentals of airbrushing and how to use the products and how to essentially function the equipment, which is some of the most frustrating parts of airbrushing in my opinion, is the equipment and getting it to work properly. So what I've done here is I've added sort of highlighting with this pink shade, just to give some more dimension to the face of this sort of alien-esque character that I've created. Also, a very important note with working around the eyes, nose, and mouth is to not directly spray the airflow into those areas, because the products could actually harm most especially your eyes, and you definitely don't want to breathe more of it in than you absolutely have to. So this is definitely just sort of subtle things that are extremely important to airbrushing that you wouldn't think of on your own, that QC touches on and makes very clear throughout the course. And as you can see, a lot of the process is just building up those pigments to the intensity that you want them to be. And it's sort of a layering effect, and it's just a back and forth process. It takes time, and just a second ago you saw that I switched machines, and this is actually just because I was using a much darker color and I knew I was going to go back potentially with the other colors that I used. I didn't want to have to completely clean out the other colors, so I switched over to this machine, which I could get a little more precise of a application with, because the airflow actually comes out at a tighter stream, so I can get more fine details with that. And as you can see, I'm adding in sort of the darkest, most intense elements of the skin features with this more detailing type of machine. And with airbrushing, you have the basic fundamentals that are so important that you have to follow in order to sort of do the things properly, but there also is a level of you just sort of figure it out as you go as far as to get the effects that you want, because nobody teaches you that. They can teach you the fundamentals and the building blocks to work off of, but it's the artist that takes it to the next level. And so what I'm doing here is I'm sort of adding in all of the extra non-airbrushing effects that I'm not really going to go over because it's not really pertainable to the airbrushing part of this video. So I use a handful of other products to just add in extra elements that I couldn't necessarily get with airbrushing. So if you really want to have an extra edge to your makeup application and also broaden your resume, I definitely recommend taking the airbrushing course through QC. Generally, it takes less than 40 hours of time to complete the course, and you get a actually quite nice starter setup for airbrushing when you sign up for the course. And I will say that the airbrushing course is actually one of the most challenging courses that I've actually taken through QC, because it is so far out of the realm of traditional makeup application. It is entirely different ground as far as learning something new. And also, as a side note, airbrushing is not just for crazy fantasy looks. You can create the most beautiful, subtle, natural sort of look that you can use for bridal. You can use it for TV and film work as sort of just natural makeup that nobody could detect that they were wearing makeup unless they were told otherwise. So I highly recommend that you look into the airbrushing course if you even have the slightest spark in your brain that this might be something that you're interested in and might want to pursue. I definitely recommend it. Okay, so here is the completed look. The whole base was done, as you saw, with airbrush, and the black sort of stripy lines and the white and the eyeliner and the lip was all sort of other makeup, but this is the final look. And honestly, one of the sort of most frustrating parts of airbrushing is troubleshooting the equipment. It clogs quite often, and just can be frustrating. But we made it, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment down below and like the video, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.